I was inspired to become a boxer partly from my upbringing, you know, always taught to fight, always taught to be a fighter, whether we're talking in reality or more in a non-literal sense. I've always been a fan. I've always loved to see these combatants out there, these true gladiators out there, and I always wanted to somewhat be that gladiator myself. And really boxing, you know, becomes more so than just something you're a casual fan of, it becomes a lifestyle.
You're gonna tap, you get a little here, it's good, but boom, a little more finesse. You know what I mean? You just gotta use a little more finesse and speed. The athletics will use it.
The first time I had any inclination of becoming a boxer was when I was 5 years old, and I went with my family to the movie theater to see Rocky III. Knocking somebody out seemed like to be the greatest sensation in the world at that point. As we left the theater, the only thing that was in my mind was, you know, man, I want to know what it feels like to get in the ring and beat somebody up.
My first fight was about 4 or 5 years ago in my 50s in the Masters. Had to go do a stress test and all this stuff because of the age, but I thought I'd be more nervous having a fight at an older age, especially against another fighter who was younger than me and bigger than me. But you know, actually I was quite calm. As soon as I stepped in the ring, felt at home, and you know, I had a really good time.
And it wasn't so much about the violence, but it was, to me, it was like a beauty, the way in which another fighter will dissect his opponent. It's more like a chess match, a thinking game. Imagine being handicapped, not being able to use anything but from your waist on up. You literally are in that ring figuring out weaknesses, flaws. So to me, it was the ultimate sport in which a person not only physically but mentally tries to break down his opponent. And that's what I really was intrigued by.
Okay, here we're gonna start with double jab, bang, bang. We're gonna come in 1, 2, and we're gonna come 2, 5. Got it? Keep your weight even. Chatter in between. Don't feel forced or obligated to throw quickly. You know, take as much darn time as you want. Be smooth, right?
The end of my competitive career and the start of my training career didn't have like finite places where they started. My original trainer often, since I was very young, 15, 16 years old, would have me run the gym and train the other people around that were coming in, you know, and this was a great way to develop me as a trainer, and I didn't know that he was shaping my life at the time, but it really was. So it wasn't like this finite place where like I stopped and this started. In fact, I kind of fought this path for a long time. The gym became available to buy. I didn't buy it. Fighters were there to be trained. I was too concerned about my own career. And there was this kind of juggling of those things until, you know, I guess you blink your eyes one time and you know, hey, this is your life.
First experience walking to a boxing gym. The first instincts or first thoughts when you come to a gym is if you see all these guys hitting bags and you know, punching hard, they're working hard, and you know, when you've never done something like this before, for the average person, I can see how it might be intimidating.
Well, I started boxing because I needed something difficult in my life to kind of build character, and I had tried it before and I knew that it was something that would be difficult for me to really get good at.
I first joined just for a workout, just to kind of get in shape and do something to relieve stress, but then it became something that I actually really loved, and
The reason I wanted to start boxing was because I was getting picked on by my cousins on my dad's side of the family, and I couldn't deal with it no more. I always stood up for myself, but I figured if I knew how to fight, it'd make things a lot more easier.
Right now, I'm channeling all my energy. It's just like I'm working out.
Someone's gonna walk by, they're not gonna even know Randy's lying down, they're just gonna step on it. Come on.
Nobody laugh.
Experience of boxing is an enlightening experience. It's the true test of learning about yourself and what you're made of.
I think boxing is the ultimate release and expression of one's character. When I'm in there fighting, it's not so much who I'm fighting, it's more what I'm fighting. Maybe it's the boss that pissed me off that day at work. Maybe the girl that said no, the friend that did me wrong. And all that is placed into this person before me. And the way in which I react in the ring is probably most likely similar to how I would have reacted outside of the ring, or how I wanted to react to those situations outside of the ring. Be it go straight forward, be it think about it, react differently, counter it, or attack it.
Nice light sparring, perfect.
Somebody that does something like ballet, when they go to watch a ballet recital, it's more than just a recital to them. It's not just something that they're observing, it's something that they've done, so it's more of an experience. And with boxing, it's the same way. We're seeing something entirely different than the average person. They're just seeing two guys in the ring slugging it out. We're seeing everything. It's almost like the whole thing is going in slow motion, and it's in black and white, so that the only thing you notice are the fighters. And all the sound is drowned out, so that the only thing you can hear are punches being landed, and it's almost like classical music is playing along to it, so it's a whole different experience with us. You know, and I guess that's the best way to describe it. Other people simply watch boxing, we experience it.
You guys are going to be alternating. You're going to start jab to the head, followed by 2 shots to the body. Then your opponents will come back, 2 shots to the body. Second round, 2 to the head, followed by 2 shots to the body. Third round, 3 to the head, followed by 2 shots to the body. And then the fourth round, you guys are going to do it at random. Any shot to the head, 1, 2, or 3, followed by any 2 shots to the body. Again, I reiterate, I don't want to see this slow methodical thing, okay? You can't try to land them shots, all right? This is, we're trying to get you guys ready to get in there and do this, so let's do it the right way, all right? Let's go.
One of the things now as a coach that I notice is the types of guys that come into the gym. You got the guys that come in and they got all the gear, they got all the latest gear, they got, you know, Everlast this, and they all decked out and the gear looks clean, they lay all this stuff aside. They come in and they do everything on the bag, and, you know, people from outside, they see them going in and say, oh, look at that, that's a fighter. But if he hasn't stepped in the ring yet, then, you know, he's not a fighter yet. And so you got guys that are hide behind that. But when they have to step into the ring, then all the questions get answered. And a lot of time, those guys don't step in the ring because of the fear of the embarrassment that's going to happen once they get in there and get found out that they don't actually know what they're doing.
It's gotta be interesting.
Sparring was something I wanted to do immediately entering the gym. The first sparring experience in the gym for me was, you know, probably the same way a heroin addict would describe that first draw into their needle. Head body on it. Nice short hook.
I had been in the gym for about 2.5 weeks, and surprisingly enough, I was thrown in the ring. It wasn't like a situation to where I volunteered to spar. My coach just said, Dempsey, put on your gear, you're getting in the ring. No ifs, ands, or buts, you just did it.
Don't drop back, just switch to short punches.
Whoa, it was completely different from what I expected. That first punch I get hit with is completely different. I'm thinking I'm gonna get hit with a punch with the person wearing gloves. I'm not gonna feel it much, but wow, did it wake me up.
Yeah, good, keep going.
My question was, did I hit hard? I know I'm somewhat strong, but, you know, does that transfer to punches? My first experience where you had actually guys there to spar, I was in the gym with a bunch of pros, and I watched this guy knock somebody out on TV, you know, like a few weeks ago. I'm not getting in the ring with him. I actually ended up sparring this old man. This old man is whooping my ass, you know what I mean? He's jabbing me, tagging me with all these shots. Finally, I think I probably got him against the ropes or something like that, and I let go of the left hook, I think, and I hit him, like, you know, hard across the head. And the first thing he did was grab me, and he's like, damn! There's nothing that feels like a punch coming from a fight.
Your chin, you know better.
Training now as a professional, I take it more serious, so it's a little bit more intense. My training is a little bit longer, but we also train a lot smarter. I used to train really hard as an amateur too, but I feel like my training has gotten a lot, has made me think about it as much of a smarter training. The transition from amateur to pro, I expected how it would be in a way, because I have seen or met other boxers, and I also studied a lot of fighters, like their whole careers from amateurs to pro, so I kind of knew what to expect, so it wasn't very difficult for me to adapt once I turned pro.
I set out to become a professional fighter, and that's something that, you know, the Lord allowed me to do. If I hadn't have done it, I'd be questioning myself forever. It's like, okay, how would it have been if I would have stepped in there against a pro? And I wanted to know that. You know what I mean? I don't think I would be able to live with always having that in the back of my mind.
Good. It's about way better. Good. Come here. Good. What have you learned from the boxing experience?
everything I've learned is through the boxing experience. What have I not learned through the boxing experience? When you are in this life, they talk about rose-colored glasses. Well, I got red and black-colored glasses. Everything I see is through the eyes of my career and who I am. It's all-encompassing. It's not something I come home from, at 5 o'clock. It's not something I leave at the office. When you're in this game, you're really in it.
If anything, the other experience that I got from boxing is how humbling it can be as well too.
I wasn't the greatest athlete of ball sports when I was younger. And so when I started boxing for fun, thought I would never be that good at it. And when I got good at it, and I kept getting better at it, and I kept doing it longer, and I got getting better and better and kind of moving on other stages. And the same thing with training, I get better and better at it. I realized that consistency was more important than talent, and however you showed up, you would get better as long as you put in a consistent effort time after time and really listen. So then I decided, you know what? I quit guitar when I was younger. I know I could play guitar. Because of the boxing experience, I knew no matter how crappy it sounded, how poorly my fingers held down the strings, that if I just persisted at it, I would get good. That was 6 years ago. Now, I'm not a great guitar player, but I can definitely play. My fingers can make, 20, 30 chords. I don't have to look at the fretboard. It holds them down without any kind of errors. I got rhythm and timing, and I can play music. And that's just to be expected. I have the patience now that I didn't have when I was younger. And I think it also taught me about bravery. It also taught me, believe it or not, in boxing there's a lot of teamwork. Once a guy goes in the ring, he's kind of a little bit on his own. But here in the gym, a lot of support from friends, and to work hard, to train, preparation, discipline. I can go on for hours about what boxing's taught me about life and how important it is to a lot of people.
I won't give credit to boxing for teaching me anything, because boxing is merely a sport that I competed in. But I know it's a sport that God actually put me in for the sake of what He had to teach me through it. You know what I mean? This is one of the things that helps me, make the transition a little better, because I realize now at this stage that it was there just for the purpose of teaching me. Once the God pulled me in and gave me the revelation of Jesus Christ, and realized that okay, the whole boxing thing was Him preparing me for ministry, and it made all the sense in the world. And now I see, especially now in hindsight, there are things when I'm reading the Word of God and He's trying to explain a certain thing to me, and I may have a little trouble seeing it clearly. A lot of times He may use boxing as a reference to like what happened with this, and it just helps me. It's something that He uses to explain certain things to me, and not just it alone, but many other things in life that He's used. But one of the main things He's used to teach me what it is He needs me to do for Him was through boxing. And again, I tell anybody that really asks me the question, His purpose for putting me in boxing was never to make me champion. It was just He needed the things that He needed to train me with. So as much as I love boxing, I can't give it credit for teaching me anything, because it is a sport. But I give all credit to God for that.
Last question, and this is the question that gets asked to everybody that did a sit-down interview. Right now, at this very moment, regardless of what type of shape that you're in, if you got in the ring right now to fight, would you win?
Oh no. Oh no, I know for a fact I wouldn't, just simply based on the fact that I haven't been keeping myself in the shape that I need to keep myself in.
Yes, I would. I'm feeling actually this week, for whatever reason, I don't know why, but I'm hitting the bag hard, fast. I don't seem to be getting tired. I seem to have all my movement. I actually probably could have had a fight today, but I didn't know I was going to have a week like this, and I haven't really been training for a fight. But yeah, if I had a fight today, I would win. No question about it.
Hell yeah, I'd win. I'm still in good shape. You know, anybody who knows me knows that, you know, I love training. That's what draws me to this gym. That's what keeps me in this gym. I love the lifestyle. I don't just talk about it. I am about it. I still get in there and spar all the damn time. And you don't just forget how to throw that hook to the body, let me tell you.
Honestly, me thinking about it this much, I can't say I would. The answer should have been yes, I would have right away. So the fact that I even thought it for a split second, I would say no, I wouldn't.
I got to be truthful about this question. I'm about 60 pounds north of where I last fought, so there's no way I'm going to guarantee that I'm going to get in the ring and win, because I'd be fighting at like, you know, many divisions above the division that I fought at. I will say this, though. Anybody crazy enough to step in the ring with me, I guarantee you one thing. You will have a motherfucking fight on your hands.